Welcome back. My name's Simon Turner and I'm the campaign manager for Driving for Better Business.
And I'm Peter Golding, the founder and managing director of FleetCheck.
In this video, we're going to look at the issue of housekeeping. I can't stress how important it is, even at this difficult time, to ensure all your policies are followed by everyone in the company, including any new recruits that you've recently taken onto your fleet to manage additional demand. I'd refer back to the court case that I mentioned in a previous video, where the Office of Rail and Road prosecuted a contracting company after a double fatality where two of the staff had fallen asleep driving home after a 25-hour shift, and they were found guilty specifically of failing to follow their own fatigue policies. But it's not just fatigue policies, is it, Peter?
No, Simon, it isn't. As you said, and we've said on previous videos, that that's a tragic case, but it demonstrates the pressure perhaps that businesses may be under at the moment, where they're trying to achieve so much. And I think adherence to what company policies are, making sure that is communicated through to well-established staff. And as we mentioned again on a previous video, to do with maybe recruitments and new people coming into the organisation. This is an extraordinarily difficult times, but I think what we can't ignore is the requirements to ensure that every single organisation that's out there needs to continue to maintain a robust audit trail. This may be challenging. I mean, people are working from home, they may not have access to the same data, and these are areas that companies need to look at, is to making accessibility to data available for people who are working from home so they can do that job and manage it. I think you can use the excuse, the fact that you're just extraordinarily busy, to say that you haven't been able to keep up together with the record keeping and those other areas. There's other issues that need to come in and be thought through. I mean, there are leases, which these vehicles may well be coming to the end of their vehicle leases. This record keeping needs to be looked at. You need to be liaising with your key suppliers. You need to be continuing to manage and maintain the business as normal. In what, again, are circumstances that nobody's used to. And I think it's, from our side, going within the companies we're talking to, often the management of the fleet and the drivers is almost sidelined at the moment into the priority of getting the job done. And my view would be, and my advice is, do not do that. Just ensure you are continuing to do what you used to do in the past. And you can still demonstrate confidently that you are doing, and if God forbid something ever did happen, you have the assurance and the peace of mind that you have the record keeping up together.
At the other end of the scale, though, Peter, we've got fleets with furloughed drivers, and from some of the fleet managers that I've been talking to, many of them are expecting the initial panic to die down over the next few days, maybe a week or two, and that's potentially going to give them some time to look at things in more detail over the summer. Do you think this represents an opportunity for them to sort of review and improve the way they do things?
Yes, I mean, we've had conversations with companies this week who have, as you quite rightly said, furloughed all of their drivers in some cases, but are using the time effectively. You've got, as far as perfect opportunity to be able to go back in. You've mentioned a second ago about policies. You could be looking at your record keeping. You could be using this time really effectively to go through a myriad of different tasks. Perhaps often you've been too busy to look at. And I think, one of the areas that we're all focusing on, and I know I mentioned this again in a previous video, to do with cost controls and analysing expenditure, giving companies a chance to be able to look at that. And I know it's something, I know for DFBB you've always suggested and clearly illustrated the benefits of analysing and looking at cost control, Simon, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Many of the case studies that we've got on our website from companies that manage it well, it shows if you've got a good handle on fleet activity and how your drivers are behaving, they can tie in the impact of that management directly to operational costs such as fuel spend, tyres, routine maintenance and servicing. all of that kind of stuff. So being able to get yourself into a position over the next few months where, you know, when we return to normal and everything's busier, you can clearly see any trends and where any maybe excessive costs are starting to creep in. You'll be in a much better position to start to improve that going forward. So I think that's something I would recommend all fleet managers try and do over the coming months. If you've got time, look at the way you manage things at the moment, and if there is any time available, look to improve those, because that will all come in really handy when we all return to work. And that will be the subject of our next video, the last in this series of short videos to help you manage your way through the current difficulties.